Ovulation is critical to getting pregnant. Without ovulation, you can't conceive. So if you're struggling to get pregnant, making sure that you're ovulating is one of the first fertility checks you want to tick off the list. So how can you tell for sure if you're ovulating? That's what this video is all about. Hi, I'm Juliette Millar. I'm a trained natural fertility specialist with over 20 years experience, and welcome to Focus on Fertility, the YouTube channel dedicated to supporting you on your fertility journey with science-based tips and information you can trust to help you get pregnant as soon as possible. So, how can you tell for sure if you're definitely ovulating? Before I dive in, I just want to dispel a couple of myths on this. Firstly, you can't know if you're ovulating for sure by the length of your menstrual cycle alone. Now, if you have nice regular cycles, somewhere between 21 and 35 days in length, then you are most likely ovulating. But it is possible to have a normal menstrual cycle length and not always ovulate. And it's also possible to have very irregular or long cycles and still be ovulating. So cycle length on its own isn't a reliable measure of whether you're ovulating or not. And the second thing I wanted to clarify is that some of the methods that are commonly used to track ovulation, like ovulation predictor kits, cervical mucus, and the majority of fertility apps, only tell you that you might be ovulating. They don't confirm if you actually are. So today I'm going to share with you the two easiest methods that will let you know for sure if you're ovulating. One requires a visit to your doctor and one you can do at home. And I'm going to start with the method that your doctor is most likely to use, and that is a progesterone blood test. Progesterone is a hormone that's made mostly by your ovaries, and different levels of this hormone can be detected in your blood. The progesterone blood test is based on the fact that your blood progesterone levels rise significantly after ovulation. So before ovulation, you only have a tiny amount of progesterone in your bloodstream, but then after ovulation, your ovaries churn out relatively large amounts of this hormone, and this increased level of progesterone can be measured in your blood. So if your blood test result shows a low level of progesterone, then this tells your doctor that you probably haven't ovulated. And if the result shows a high level of progesterone, then this tells your doctor that you have ovulated, at least in that particular menstrual cycle. But here's the thing, and this is really important. To get an accurate result, the progesterone blood test must be done on the right day of your menstrual cycle. If it's not done on the right day, the results can be inconclusive. Or even worse, you could be told that you're not ovulating even when you are. Getting the test done on the right day is so important that I've made another video on this exact topic. And in that video, I also tell you what progesterone level you're looking for to feel confident that you are ovulating. And I'll link to that video up here so that you can go and take a look. So that's method number one, a progesterone blood test or serum progesterone that you can order through your doctor. Okay, on to the second easy method to find out if you're ovulating. And if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that this is my favorite method. Why? Because firstly, you can do it from the comfort of your home. Secondly, it's very reliable. And thirdly, and most importantly as far as I'm concerned, it can give you a lot more information about your fertility than a progesterone blood test can. So this second method is to use your basal body temperature, or BBT for short. Now, if you're not familiar with your BBT, this is your body's temperature at complete rest. So you take your BBT as you wake in the morning or after your longest period of sleep. Your BBT is actually a direct reflection of your progesterone levels. So before ovulation, when your progesterone levels are low, your basal body temperature will also be at a lower level. And then after ovulation, when your progesterone levels are high, your temperatures will also be at a higher level, usually at least 0.2 degrees Celsius or 0.4 degrees Fahrenheit higher. And then they'll stay at that higher level for the rest of your cycle until you get your next period. So if you see this sustained rise in your temperatures, you can feel very confident that you have ovulated. Now, observing and recording your BBT the right way and then knowing exactly how to interpret it to get all the really valuable information it gives you does take a bit of know-how. In fact, I've dedicated a whole 3 modules to this topic in my Fast Track to Pregnancy program. But it's certainly not difficult, and it's something that anyone can do. And if you'd like to find out more about how to use your BBT to get pregnant, I've put some links to some resources below. So that's a quick overview of the 2 easiest methods that you can use to find out if you're ovulating for sure. If you've already used these methods or have any questions about them, please do let me know in the comments. If you found this video useful, please give it a big thumbs up. And of course, if you'd like to see more videos like this one and get your fertility questions answered, make sure to subscribe. I hope that helps. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in another video soon. Bye for now.